Can we stay?
Yeah, same way. Instead of sitting back down, stand back up.
About to call to order the October 2nd regular meeting of the Marcus Area City Council. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the prayer by the clerk.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, we ask your blessing tonight on this council meeting. Grant our city leaders the wisdom, patience, and understanding to make the best decisions for our city and its people. Amen.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Hunter.
Here.
Mr. Rushman.
Here.
Mrs. Armstrong. Here. Mr. Rogers.
Here.
Mr. Lyman.
Here.
Reverend Agnew.
Here.
And Mr. Shrek.
Here.
You should have all received copies of the minutes from the regular and special meetings. Are there any additions or corrections? We have none, and it will stand approved as received. Do we have any correspondence?
Yes, two. The Walter Training Company has notified me that it's time for the new updates of codified ordinances. And a thank you note was received for the love, support, and flowers received on the death of Mayor's wife, Jenny Gates.
And we'll move on to reports of officers of the city. We'll start with you.
I just had a few things I want to update council on and give council's opinion on another. Just the cleanup week seems to be going pretty well. We hit a few glitches here and there. It is what it is. I mean, some people put out a tractor trailer with a trash. I mean, I don't know, if it come from my house, I don't know how they would fit in that house. You know, hopefully if nothing else, we alleviate a fire hazard. Ms. Kendall from the Behavior Center down here wanted to know if she can block that intersection to Walnut for their trunk or treat. I thought I might bring it to council's attention. They want to bring a fire truck to block that intersection, not Zane Highway, but I believe it's the 4th Street, or I'm sorry, Walnut Street,
Up to,
from like TMK going west.
what, 8th Street, or is that 7th Street?
Um,
Just about
Yeah,
next
she didn't
block
really
up.
say it for her, but I think it's up to 7th Street. They just have people coming in.
Yeah.
And 7th Street probably won't be blocked because they're getting people in and out. So they do this every year. They do this every year and ask if we can block that off for safety issues. I told her I didn't think it'd be a problem, but I bring it to council's attention. If I can have approval or disapproval on that today, I'd appreciate it. The pickleball court that we talked about the last meeting seems to be moving forward. I got an email from the person today wanting to know would they need a permit. I said, you know, I said, once again, I'll talk to the council, but I don't think you need a permit to build something for the city because it's gonna be owned by the city. So when they build it, they're turning it over to the city.
There will be no tax evaluation to be added.
Correct. The other thing I want to discuss with this building, you guys passed on work for $275,000. We need to have a meeting with buildings and ground, or whoever in council is in control of buildings, which I believe would be building and ground, or whoever in council wants to sit down, because I looked at these, I will not sign it. I'm telling you right now, these are the most generic bids I've ever seen. These are opened up for change orders. You're gonna give them a blank check, is what they're gonna do. Then you're gonna give another blank check, then you're gonna give another blank check. I've been a contractor for 45 years, I wouldn't sign it. Now I'm not gonna sign for the city. If you look at either one, first of all, on the masonry, I don't have a warranty from this company. This company has a 1-year warranty. So we're gonna spend $300,000 to get a 1-year warranty. The roof's warranted for 20 years. If your brick failed, then the roof's gonna fail. They're not gonna warranty because somebody else's work failed. I think we need to sit down with both these companies and say, hey, look, we need a better bid. This one identified multiple issues with the city if they're gonna fix. This one, base bid southwest corner, that's that corner. What about the other areas that are bad? So, only thing I'm asking council, pick the best bid that you think's gonna work for the city. If you put a Band-Aid on it, we're gonna revisit it probably before we leave office. If we're not to do that. So if you guys can get a meeting together, we will try to contact whatever days are good for you guys, we'll try to contact these gentlemen, or these companies, and the roofing companies seem to be close to the same price. The masonry work seems to be pretty far apart. So I kinda wanna see what we're getting for our money. Because like I said, they're just kind of generic as it comes to contractual. And I'm not gonna sign something that I think the city's gonna get stuck on. I believe we can. I'm not saying we would get stuck, I'm saying there's a possibility you get stuck. With that, Madam President, I have nothing further.
Questions for the mayor? Thank you, Mayor. Service Safety Director, Mr. Sudak.
Thank you, Madam President. Just real quick, because Mr. Hopper already said, asked me if I was gonna go over a lot of things. Just a couple things real quick. We are starting to really progress towards our water plant. The VFDs are now all completed. Herb just put the last two into our room there. The company that works with the SCADA system is going to come in and check the VFDs to make sure they're all working and running based on the wiring and everything. So I believe we're really good with that. That's one of the big jobs that are done. The air compressor room, which is a brand new building outside of the water plant that we had built. Everything is in there, the compressors are done, the louvers are all done, H&U finished all that up. The company's supposed to come in tomorrow to foam insulate that building, so it'll be sound tight, insulated, it'll be perfectly done. And that'll be another project that we started and done. Well 5 should be completed by Friday, and that is with a new motor, new filter screen, and cage need to be dropped down into our well 5. So that'll be another one of our wells that are clean, brand new equipment, and so on. I think we got 3 more wells or 4 more wells. I can't remember off the top of my head what we want to do. That we still need to clean and make sure all the equipment in there is good. So that might not be another project next year. If we got time and some additional funding, and we may try to do another well or whatever, but we're great with the wells we have done, plenty of water to pump, so we're good. The H&U finished up all the heating, dehumidifiers in the plant itself. They got one little heater that they need to put in the ozone room. That won't be until later, once the ozone is put in there, the equipment is put in there. That'll be our next big project. The SCADA system is completed. All the materials that they're going to program outside of the plant is done. Now they're coming in and they're going to start working on all the upgrades to the SCADA system in the plant itself. And that's going to take a little more time, only because there's a lot of technical things in there. We did a couple of things, but it was a very minimal cost. In parts of our water plant, we had exit signs out of the doors, but we never had safety power lights on them in case the power would go out and somebody's walking, so there would be no injuries or whatever. So just for safety purpose or whatever, we now have all brand new lights along with our safety, or with our exit lights going out of different doors and whatever in our water plant. It needed to be done for compensational costs. So pretty much that's where we are. The two, let me go over that. Okay. The two big projects we really have is the fact that we need the actual filter beds will be starting to be worked on, and the ozone room will be probably worked on later this year, maybe towards next year, because they gotta rebuild all those ozone equipments. There's 2 big blocks in there that they have to rebuild. When it gets to the point, our guys will be to save extra cost and money, which I applaud them. They're gonna take all that equipment out, and if you need to go down and look and see what they need to take out and how they're gonna get it back in, then if you want, we can set up a little trip down there. We can show you what all's been done and some of the good things that we have done. So we're progressing very well. There's a couple projects, and I haven't said anything to the mayor yet, that I think are major importance, especially for our Sunset tank area. I would like to get a generator, which would be a gas generator hooked up by natural gas. In case the power goes out, that won't shut down at all. Right now, we got a small generator that barely runs the motors, and it's just like a regular generator we have at home. You fill up with gas, and that means you got to have somebody to man that and run back and forth or whatever. So I would like to see if we got money, or if council would be to maybe look to see how much more cost would be. I'd like to do everything the right way and make sure everything is completed the right way. When we originally went into this, we talked 5 million there, and that's only because that's all we could borrow. We didn't have any for sure actual numbers. We knew 5 million would take us a long ways, but once they get into the filter beds, that's another question, like the roof. Once they really get in there, they gave you an estimated amount, but it's like, you don't know until you start tearing some things out. There might be some other things. Hopefully that's a really good bid, but that's something maybe the next meeting I'll bring back some estimates and numbers and some other projects. If that's what council will allow, maybe we can look into maybe redoing a little more funding to make sure that plant's completely done from top to bottom, and we'll be good for 20 years. So I'll bring numbers back. I mean, we don't have to, but it's something that I researched and looked over and met with the guys and some of the companies that there was a couple things we may want to do. Last thing, next week, we started Project East Road Water Line. We're replacing that whole water line. We've had so many breaks out there, the type of line we had. So our guys are going to be doing the work and putting it in to save money and so on. So we're using the number of guys from all of our departments: water, sewer, and street. Okay, so we're going to try to get that road done as fast as we can. We're going to start on one end and on the other end, and hopefully meet in the middle. So I'm pretty much done with what I had to say, because I'm on, well, Jack took my timer, so Bunker already took that, so I'm done. If anybody has any questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
I just want to reiterate on the generator, what happened is we have 2 big pumps out there, pump water off the core tank.
Yeah.
And right now, if we have to have a power failure, we can run one at a pump. We can run a smaller one, and if you get low voltage on these pumps, it'll burn these pumps up. And as Amy said, we have to go out and man these pumps. Natural gas will have an automatic kick on, same as our well fields. So power goes out, generators kick on, we can still flow water. Kind of same scenario. If you get low voltage, this smaller motor, you burn that motor up, we can't pump water at all. So it's kind of a necessity. So it's something for council to think about, because the need.
And you're getting estimates on those for
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
next
little
meeting,
better.
right?
I mean, remember, estimates are estimates, okay? Until you start getting things, putting them in, there might be a little additional cost, so I'll get the best estimates that I could get. But like I said, I'll put some things together and let council know if possible, to maybe add a little additional more money to that. And if you remember, I did say that we don't know how much it could be until we really start getting into the project. And this is a very technical water plant, but it's going to be a brand new water plant, guts inside. The building is the building, but the guts inside is gonna be brand new. And things that you won't believe that were never done with the plant, that, they're gonna be done now, they're gonna be done perfectly well. So I will bring those estimates back on a couple of projects I'd like to see done. And then if council says okay, then I need to know by next council meeting, because that note matures in December, I believe, so we need to start the process if we're gonna fund additional funds, okay? Thank you.
Questions from Mr. Sutek? Mr. Sherman?
Hey, on them tanks, you can put natural gas in, is there natural gas?
Yes, that's exactly right, there's a line right there, but we already checked that we can run right to the station right there. And we did upgrade that whole, Sunset, so the motors and pumps are bigger, better motors, okay? So that's why we're going to a better, bigger, more powerful, generator for it, to be able to run it without any issues or problems.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Sutek.
Thank you, Madam President.
Auditor, Mr. Regis?
Yes, a couple of things. You have the September cash report, the check registry, and the payroll summary on your desks that need a motion on those tonight. I just want to clarify one thing. No place did we pass for $250,000 or $275,000. We passed a motion to okay to proceed with this job without formal bidding.
Yeah.
So for that figure, there was never one time anything passed any figures. The only thing Kuhn wanted was set up the scaffolding in the back southwest corner. They're gonna look at the whole thing. That company, I've dealt with them for 17 years at the county, and I've dealt with them over 40-some years at the mill. And they do good work. I don't care who you use, I don't care what you do. But I'm not gonna see you give a company that's upright and do great work. We were gonna pay for that out of the general fund, and then the rest of it's gonna be financed. You know, we was talking about it could go about high, but never one time was $250,000 to $275,000 ever passed, or a motion ever made, and was never come out of our mouth. Me and Andy talked about how much we wanted to see if we could get up to make sure we had enough money if anything else come up, but it wasn't for that. So I just wanna make sure that you get the whole thing.
Jack, on that, and maybe there wasn't, on that is just to get set up to see what all,
What it said on the southwest corner, that's where he's setting up the scaffolding to go up on the roof and fix it. That's all that was southwest corner referred to, and he's going up and fix it, he's gonna fix that corner, and then he's gonna do the whole thing, check the whole thing, but
okay, and
you
then.
can talk to him.
Okay, well, that's right, then possibly from there, if he fixes that one corner area, and he checks everything else, then that might be additional cost, just like the other estimate we got.
What he got planned to do right now is under that cost. He's
Just
not
for that
adding
corner.
he's not adding anything unless, we told him, wanna go out and fix it so we could get the roof done and get the thing done and get the patch before winter moved in. That's all I told him to be done, because that's all I thought we were doing.
It probably,
I didn't know we were doing the whole building, I would have to give me the plan.
well, that might be another, like I said, meeting with him and discussing all this might not be a bad
Yeah.
idea to do. Okay, I agree with that.
Any questions for Mr. Regis? Thank you, Mr. Regis. Fire chief?
Fire.
Yes, there you are. It's good to see you for a second.
Quarterly report was submitted to you all yesterday. We had 59 calls for service in the third quarter, 16 for active fires, 10 motor vehicle accidents, 18 public service type calls, and 15 false alarms or canceled bin round. So we were actually pretty busy for the third quarter, just like the second quarter. Thursday, October 10th, the fire department will be going to Marks Ferry Elementary School for Fire Prevention Week. We will be going there at 9 a.m., I believe it is. This year's theme is for smoke detectors. We put together handouts for 500 students, so we will have membership up there the 10th, presenting to the kids. And I would like to take this time to remind everybody that we are still under a burn ban by the state fire marshal, whether it's after 6 p.m. or not. That's still in effect. We've had plenty of residents having fires, so just a friendly reminder.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions?
I do.
Yes.
would it, when you say that, could we put that on our website to let the people know that we are still under a fire ban, not to be having fire, you're talking like fire pits or
Fire pits
burning
or
anything
there's
or
no
whatever?
burning in Belmont County for state fire marshal, it's because of the drought conditions.
Okay,
October 1st did start the statewide ban or
Okay.
whatever for forest fires.
okay,
You can't burn between 6 A and 6 P, but right now you can't burn anywhere in the county for anything.
so if you get some time, can you stop in, we'll get, if you stop in the utility office and, I'll let Leslie know to put on our website, so hopefully people look at that just to get another reminder.
Yeah.
Because you see it on TV, but not everybody sees that, so.
And nobody ever sees it on the internet, hears it on the radio, sees
Yeah.
it on the news,
So
or
at least
anything, Facebook or anything,
Yeah.
so.
So hopefully we'll see that, maybe we can even put it on Facebook just to let the people know. Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I'll stop in tomorrow
Okay.
Friday.
Thanks, appreciate it.
See you guys.
Thank you. Police Department, Chief?
At the end of the month report for September, police department handled 674 total calls were received by Martinsville dispatchers. 523 calls were for police, 149 calls were for EMS and fire, 23 calls for city services. As far as the activity, there have been 192 complaint investigations, 63 traffic stops, 38 juvenile complaints, 12 criminal arrests, 21 domestic violence calls, 10 vehicle accidents, 8 warrant services, 1 assault, 26 follow-up investigations, 55 unit calls, 20 criminal cases processed for prosecution, 9 suspicious activity calls, 11 animal complaints, 13 alarm drops, 7 threats or harassment investigations, 1 fight, and 2 known fatal overdoses. Brief. Total month of fees collected from the police department impound lot was $575. We currently have 5 active impound vehicles and 1 forfeited vehicle currently being auctioned. Recent event on September 29th, Officers Barrett and Shreve responded to assist Bridgeport Police to a shots fired call. On arrival, officers were fired upon by a male suspect. After a brief standoff, the male suspect surrendered and was taken into custody. No one was injured during that incident, unfortunately. That's all I have.
Questions for the chief?
These battery operated bikes, is anything that does that? The kids are crazy.
There are
Has
ordinances.
anybody been hit or anything? Any kids? One did a U-turn right in front of my car, then he hit a bush. I drive slow. And he did a U-turn right in the middle of the street, right in front of my truck. And I stopped, I told him, I said, I hear a few choice words. I thought that I was supposed to be doing stuff. I want you to go the highway, do the stop signs, I want you to bus stop. I said, I just want you to go there and do stop signs.
And they're supposed to obey all traffic laws. There are different rules for kids under 15 years of age when it comes to those electric bicycles or any bicycles for that reason. It is a problem. I mean, there's adults use it for a general mode of transportation anymore. So it is a problem, and we try to address it the best we can.
I was traveling up the same highway with speed, and you pass.
Oh, yeah, some of them are pretty quick.
I don't know how fast they go. They hit that bush. I don't think it's handy about it. You turn right in front of my truck. So I had to go fast.
I have read that some of them can get up to 30 miles per hour.
Chief, what type of legalities do we have with the bikes going down the middle of the street like that? Do they still have the same laws or regulation as a vehicle?
Yes, sir.
We can still arrest them and pull them over and all that?
Absolutely. Even after hours, we're supposed to have lights on their bicycles and their scooters. Under a certain age,
Flaggers
we
and
have to
stuff
have
like that,
helmets.
yeah.
Yes.
So we will, if that does occur and they're out there speeding or they don't have the reflectors or lights, our officers will take care of that, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I did have one in Mayor's Court, no reflectors, no lights, didn't stop the stop sign. That's what the charge said, gentleman didn't show up, or I don't know how old he was. What's your recourse? You don't have a driver's license, what's our recourse? send them down northern. When they don't show up there, he'll issue a warrant, and he'll have to arrest them. I've seen that happen in there. So I think that's gonna be our next step, because we tried multiple things, doesn't work. So if the media wants to put it in there, if your son's in mayor court, you don't come, you'll go to northern court. You don't go there, you get to go to jail. That's the way it's gonna play now.
Maybe a couple of them get that.
But they did pick somebody up for a bicycle, and they did not show up at the reflectors, run a stop sign. I don't think he had lights, reflectors, and he ran stop sign on the motorized, electric motorized. So they are, your guys are police.
Do our best with what we have.
Not on the stop.
No,
No, you're right.
Mrs. Armstrong?
I was wondering, you said there were 5 vehicles in the lot,
Yes.
and when I go by the other lot, it's full.
One other one.
There's only one other lot. Okay.
Naylor's law.
Nailers, okay.
And why are they so full and we only have 5?
Well, because they take in some police impounds. We only take in cars that we have keys for. They also take in auto accidents. We don't take in auto accident vehicles. That's a whole different avenue we don't want to go down with dealing with insurance companies and stuff of that nature. So the police impounds we deal with are true police impounds for violations for court holds, stuff like that. And we only take in the vehicles that have keys. If we impound a parking vehicle, we don't have keys, Nailers takes it. And anything without keys, we do not take.
Chief, I got one question, sorry, Madam President. Our couple vehicles down at, down by Salt, that, what do we need to do to get those on the, website, or so, or just put, can we put on for like junk strap or whatever, if they wanna bid on it, we could do whatever?
Absolutely, but if people are interested in utilizing those vehicles, you're still gonna have to have a title. We need a title to be able to put it up on the auction.
Okay, so that's just really what all we can use is type.
Yeah. Give me a title, I'll go take some photos, put it on the auction as is, see what happens.
Any other questions? Mr. Rushing?
Yes, I just have to agree with Mr. Lyman's point, that Deb brings it up, that, I drive around at night a lot whenever I'm, with friends or, going through a drive-through, so get something, whatever. I see those bikes, out, day and night, more and more of the time. And, I know as, I'm trying to speak for council that, the police department does do an excellent job. But just from a council, recommendation, I think, that's definitely something to think about, because say just all bets are off, I think over time, we're gonna see more and more of those bikes, being around very illegal enough. So just, that's just my 2 cents on it. I think that's important, for everybody, in the city to keep that in the back of their minds, but, yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I don't think there are any other officers. We'll move on to reports of committees. Finance and Audit, Mr. Conklin.
Okay, on September 23rd, we had our meeting to discuss the roof and the parapet walls, the estimates and everything, and, we're going to go under this on an emergency measure. We decided at our special meeting, and it's just a matter, we're just waiting to get everything together. That's it.
Mr. Reed, Mr. Rogers.
Andy just told me about Spring Haven Drive. He got an oral estimate, he's getting a written estimate. When he gets it, then we'll set up a possible meeting about that.
Ordinance, Reverend Agnew.
No report.
Sewer sidewalk, Mr. Humphrey.
No report.
Safety, Mr. Shrine.
Nothing report.
Service, Mr. Shrine.
Nothing report.
Cemetery, Mr. Nunn.
No report.
Public Relations, Mr. Ashman.
No report.
County, Reverend Agnew.
No report.
Real Estate, Utility, Mr. Humphrey.
We had a meeting on September 23rd and discussed the 9th Street property again that was advertised, but the person, the service director told us that the person that was interested in the property didn't see the advertisement, but there was a question on the amount that we wanted. And so there was a little discussion on that, but I brought up that we should at least get our advertising fees back on that sale. So we're still looking into that, and get that done.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a hold of, I think Jack, you know her, as soon as, I'll get that from,
I got, she told me what to tell you, I forgot, the other day, to tell you. I was going to tell you at the meeting, Branch said.
okay. Like I said, Bob said, at least get our advertising fees back.
Real estate, income tax, Mrs. Armstrong. Are there any other committees that would like to report? If not, that will take us to hearing of any resident relative to any matter that may properly be brought to the attention of council. And I'm bringing up that this is matters that are proper for council to address or to know about. If any resident wants to speak, please approach the microphone, give your name and address for the record, and please limit your speaking to the 5 minutes set by council.
Good evening, Jack Regis Jr., I'm Fiscal Administrator at Job and Family Services. And just like to take a few minutes to discuss the upcoming levy renewal we have in ballot in November for children's services. Passed out postcards before the meeting. Currently, Children's Services has 2 property tax levies on the ballot. It's 0.65 mil and 0.35 mil. Jack and I were talking before the meeting. Makes no sense, but currently these levies, the way they're staggered, one's on the ballot for renewal this year and the other will be on the ballot for renewal next year. So this year's the 6.5 mil. After talking with the commissioners and looking at the finances and everything, it was decided that we could decrease this 6.5 mil to a 0.45 mil levy. Would generate roughly about $150,000 less than what we're generating now on the 2 levies combined. If the 0.45 mil would pass on November 5th, we would allow the 0.35 mil that's due for renewal next year to expire. So giving taxpayers kind of a, I guess, for lack of a better term, a double relief on taxes. We're going to see a huge thousands of dollars increase, obviously, but every little bit helps. If you look on the county auditor's website at their property search under your property, all the levies that we will be voting on in your jurisdiction from all of us, Martins Ferry, are listed there, and it will show you the current rate you're paying per month and then the proposed change. For example, right now, on this 6.5 levy, my taxes are about $2.40 a month. With this reduction, I would save roughly $1.56, down around 65 cents a month is what I would average to. So it is a little bit of a tax relief. It will still allow us to fund children's services and provide the services we need to provide for state and federal statute to support abused and neglected children. Unfortunately, that is a problem all across, not just Belmont County, but all across the country. Various reasons why. But the money, in addition to the money, Children's Services, we front all the expenses when we get a case. If we take a child into custody and have to do some sort of placement with them, Children's Services, right now, we pay all that money up front and then seek eligible federal reimbursement from the federal government through the Title 40 program. So in the end, what this money generates in federal match is roughly $3 billion in additional dollars coming into Belmont County to care for abused and neglected children. It's definitely a need. These individuals, and Mr. Eshman works with them nearly every day. He can testify to the work they do, the situations they face. And like I said earlier, when we proposed this levy, it's kind of cliche, but it's the truth. These are all our children, not biological, but we report they abuse or neglect, or we'll do something to help these kids in need. We all have some sort of responsibility in making sure that the children are well and kept and safe. So any support that you can lend us, give us, we would definitely appreciate. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So, thank you for your time.
Any questions for Mr. Reeves?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The name is Richard Ward, 915 Virginia Street. First question I have for you, I'd like to get some comments regarding the status of East Ohio Regional Hospital. I see that the facilities manager, Bernie Albertini, has recently stepped down. They've got a replacement there. And just wondering your views regarding the status of current state of the East Ohio Regional Hospital.
Well, they did change that for Bernie retired.
We retired.
I thought Bernie myself.
So,
It's a natural thing in the United States. You get old enough to retire, you get retired.
everything's good.
Unless you're like us.
So everything's good then?
Looks like it.
Okay, very good. Also, too, I'd like to request an update regarding the Austin Masters situation. How's that coming?
It's under ODNR right now. Phase 2 is stalled for a short period of time, I guess. For bidding specs, phase 1's completed, hauled out about 3,000 ton of hazardous waste to the landfill. It can go to the current landfill. They have to remediate the rest, send some to the landfill, some will go on trains and ship, leave Utah and Texas.
Thank you. How's code administration in the city of Martinsburg progressed?
We have dual code administrators. Terry in my office does it along with Tim Starkey, and plus we have multiple offices creating tickets. Once again, same way with bicycle. We had a person summons the court for high grass and they didn't show up, high grass, weed, whatever the violation was, one or the other. They just don't come here. So, and I don't have a problem with that because they'll go down and see Judge Miser. If they don't show up there, he has a lot more power than I have. So they will bring you to him, or they'll bring that person to the judge.
Thank you. And also too, I know we made the announcement at the last meeting, but I just wanted to reinform everyone that tomorrow there will be a Meet the Candidates session at the Martinsburg Public Library beginning at 6 p.m. And hope you all can make it. Thank you.
Do we know any candidates?
I'm sorry?
That are committed? Do we know any candidates that are committed to come? Who's speaking?
What candidates?
What candidates? are
Oh, that, I can't really answer because it's done by the library, but I know they got a few. Some I haven't been able to, I know, because I talked with some of the candidates just that I run into. But I know that they have several, and they did try to invite everyone, the candidates that was running for election. A lot of them don't have opposition, but I'd like to have the citizens with the opportunity to speak to those people that are candidates are going into office and find out what they plan to do when they get in.
Sure.
So it's free with the public also. So it'll be tomorrow at 6 and there's no charge.
Thank you, Mr.
So,
Ward.
yeah, I'm a board member here, so I'm trying to get word out also.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
My name is Tom Thomas. I'm president of the Martins Ferry Area Historical Society. For the last 54 years, we've operated the Sedgwick House Museum up on Hanover Street. We've reached a crisis financially. I sent a letter to Mayor Davies, and I thought I'd follow up in person. Right now, our yearly budget is around $5,000 to $6,000. What it is, utilities about $300 a month. Our insurance, as you can imagine, on a building that old is about $1,500 a year. We've had to install a security system, so that's expensive. And right now, we're beginning to run into problems. The building was built in 1870, so it's over 150 years old. And now we're, just like any old person, right? You're running into all kinds of aches and pains. So that's our expenses, around $5,000 to $6,000. It used to be here, the Strawberry Festival was done originally with money to go to the society. Well, that dried up. So then Betty Zane Days came along, and they gave us money yearly, and that dried up. So right now, we're on our own. And we depend on donations. We have people that privately donate. We have John Martin, lives in Michigan. He's an original Martin for the Martins Ferry, and he sends us money every year. Here locally, the Alumni Association, the Lions Club, the Elvis Club, Booster Club, churches have been very helpful. Mr. Everson down at the bank, he cuts our grass every month, or every time. That's his sort of donation to us. So, yeah, the problem is, as you can tell, you can't exist on donations. And my question for you, is there anything we can do to help us? Because the way it looks now, we have maybe a couple more good years, and then we're out of funds. You know, Martins Ferry has a proud history. And I hate to see that go away. So whatever you can do, we would be very appreciative.
Mr. Thomas, what is your shortage every year after your donations? What would be your pitfall area?
Well, in the last couple of years, we had a sort of a rainy day fund kind of thing. But what happened was a couple of years ago, we had a leak. And that ate up all, with the repair and fix all that, it ate up all our extra money. We've also depended on Belmont Tourism. Well, I guess I can say this honestly. When Barbara Bound was there, we were in good shape. When she retired, we're hurting. Some CNC person took over. But anyway.
Did you get any funding at all from them?
Yes, but it's starting to drop.
But your current expenses versus your current income, what would they be? What would the difference be?
Okay, like I said, we're spending $5,000 to $6,000 a year. Our income's probably about $3,000 to $4,000. So we've been living on that extra rainy day money that we've sort of caged away. But like I said, the last couple of years we've had some building problems. But I want to thank, we were open on Fall Fest. And I want to thank Andy. I should say this. I want to say something nice about Andy. Wait a minute, we go way back. I had him in school. Of course, I had Mayor Davies in school too, so it turned out okay.
Yeah.
But the idea was, we
put a flag on me when I spiked the ball.
Yeah. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to offer more than tours. So Andy put me in touch with Mr. Hilton. The fire department came. Chief Murphy was nice enough to send K-9s, group down and everything. So it was great. We had over 45, maybe 50 people came on the Saturday of Fall Fest. So getting people to the museum is our big goal. Just wanted to let you know, I mean, I take this, our group is slowly dwindling. We're down to about 4 volunteers now, doing everything. And, we lost Well, one lady moved away, Barbara Schroeds is now physically unable, of course, John Avignon passed. And we really miss him. He was our go-to guy. So we're down to about 4 people doing everything, and we don't mind. It's just we want to be able to provide, you know, the heritage and the history of the community.
We'll have council discuss it officially and likely refer it to finance, but.
You know,
So
what
we can
would
make
be
it
perfect? I can give you a perfect solution. If you could say to me, every year we'll give you like $1,000 stipend. I'd come to your house and, you know, wash your walls and stuff.
What's your name? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so
Thomas.
much.
Thank you. Any other citizens? If not, I don't believe we have any ordinances or resolutions this evening, so we'll move on to today's business. Mr. Frank.
Have they given people permission to block off part of Walnut Street? What's the date, John?
Walnut, they either Trump Street is, I'll bring that exact date back. One minute. On the 29th, from 6 to 7:30, so they need a block off from like 5 to 7:30. That would be okay with council.
I have a motion by Mr. Schramm that we allow Walnut Street intersection to be blocked off on October 29th from 5 to 7:30 for a trunk or treat. Do I have a second by Mr. Rogers? Is there any discussion? If not, we'll have a roll call vote.
Mr. Schramm?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mr. Ashman?
Yes.
Mrs. Armstrong?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Nyman?
Yes.
Mayor Magner?
Yes.
And motion carries. Mr. Rushing.
I would like to make a motion that we approve all of the financial reports, and I did say we have a new hire on there. If I'm able to, I'd like to add that in the motion as well.
Motion by Mr. Ashman to note that we have received and approved the payroll summary statement, cash position, and the new hire, oh my goodness, new hire. Do I have a second? Second by Reverend Maggie. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. That motion carries. Mayor?
Listening to Mr. Thomas speak, I think it would be a good gesture of the city council to each. I think the city should pay for at least half of it, because they are heritage thing here at $2,500 a year. But I think it'd be a good gesture going into the committee meeting to decide if that's what we want to do or not. If we could at least give them some money to help shore up, even if it's $1,000 or $2,500 this year, you know, one time, just to make sure we don't want to see any close in town, especially our historical society. So I'd like council to take that into consideration and possibly vote on it.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Tran?
I'll make a motion. Donate $2,500 from, I don't know.
Yeah, I have to check.
Take it from the general fund.
Question. Could we possibly do the 2,500 one time and then, ongoing, $100 a month, be 1,200, $1,200 a year?
I just figured if council passed it first, it'd give them a little beef up, give you a chance to see where everything lands, and,
For one time this year and then.
yeah, and then you guys can meet on it, because if you're gonna put it in an ordinance form, whatever, to do it every year, so it continues on.
Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna second the motion.
So, would someone want to repeat this motion to me, how you're gonna do it? We're gonna appropriate $2,500 from general fund for calendar year 2024. And that's it,
Yes.
right,
Yes.
at this point. Okay. Motion by Mr. Schramm, second by Mr. Nyman. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Do you pay water and sanitation? No.
We use very little, but we don't.
Okay, no water, doesn't, okay.
No,
Okay.
We take, like, I think they had a bunch of shrubs and bushes, whenever they call or whatever they need that we possibly can do with our guys to, if they have extra garbage or something
I
there.
was just thinking of that fee.
Yeah,
That's all.
we go, I'll send somebody up and take care of whatever Mr. Thomas wants on
Any more discussion? If not, I will roll call vote.
Mr. Schramm?
Yes.
Mr. Hunker?
Yes.
Mr. Ashman?
Yes.
Mrs. Armstrong? Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Mr. Nyman?
Yes.
Reverend Agnew?
Yes.
Motion carries and will appropriate $2,500 for this year.
Does
Yes,
council want me to go ahead and take care of that, and then you catch the ordinance up with it? Or you want me to wait on the paperwork?
I just need the one time if you could now and then.
I'll do it on the motion, if that's all right, council.
I think it'd have to be an ordinance for them to be yearly.
Yes.
It'll go out tomorrow or Friday.
it. Okay, all right.
Mr. Schramm.
Make a motion to note we receive reports of officers and management. Incorporate these reports into the minutes.
Motion by Mr. Schramm to note that we received the reports of officers and management. These will be included in the minutes. Second by Mr. Schramm. Mr. Schramm, Mr. Ashman. Oh my goodness. I just looked down, I see Schramm.
Nice to meet you. I am proud to be called that.
Well, you don't know.
I must not.
Is there any discussion, any more discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Mrs. Armstrong.
I'm looking at our council committees, and in regards to having a committee look at these estimates, I don't know what committee.
I was gonna just bring that up myself. We don't. It would either be, to my thinking, service,
Service, yeah.
or it could have been real estate, but I think service would cover, yes, so. I think we should, just refer that to Mr. Schramm's chairman. This would be for the,
That's,
all the
that's,
estimates for the roof and the parapet. They want these companies to come in.
How many people from council can get here, of course, the more the better, so we can answer all the questions. And I'm not saying one country's better than the other, because I don't know, I really don't know either one. But I just think we need clarification of exactly what's,
what all we're gonna do.
what all we're gonna get done, and make sure it's what we need done.
What day will we open next year?
What, I think what we gotta do is probably contact these people, see when they go, I'll contact you and try, if I get several days from them, contact you and give them their dates, because right now we're waiting for you, Ms. Emily.
You wanna have Jack contact the one he knows, and I'll, the ones I notified, I'll try to get a hold of them. Is that good?
We just get together, our office and you and your office and us, and we'll see if we can just get them both here at the same time, or the same day, that way you don't have council come on once.
Okay, we'll do with maybe half hour, 45-minute intervals. Is that
We'll
good?
do it separately, probably.
Yeah. I will do so.
Mr. Ashman, do you have a question?
Yes, it have, but with me being a member of this committee, I just wanted to make sure, to let council know, like picking a date for this. I have classes, Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. I know generally we have committee meetings in the mornings, so I will not be able to do those days, but, Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays should be okay with me, so I just wanted to note that. Yep.
I'm gonna try to shoot for next Thursday and see if he's available, and if you do that too.
Okay.
We'll shoot for Thursday.
So, I tell you what, you check with him first to see what time he would prefer in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Is that good with you Friday?
It's good for me.
Thursday, you said Thursday, I'm sorry.
Thursday.
Okay,
Thursday's
Thursday,
good.
good?
Yep.
and then maybe you wanna like start at like 9:30 or 9, 10,
Ask him to come in
11?
Yes, he will be 9:30, and then the other guy, the Alder Omini,
Okay.
in between.
9:30, Jack?
October 12th, yes.
9:30, what did you say
Yeah,
for the
first
first
one,
one?
I'll ask him if he can be here by 9:30.
Okay, then I'll go, what, 10? Half hour and 10?
Shouldn't take him much more than that to explain,
Okay.
so.
Okay, and I'll get a hold of them and see if they come in at 10. What about the roof? Do we wanna go like 10:30 and then 11 and get them all done in one day? Is that good? Okay. Okay, I'll check and see if who all can make it at that time, and I'll get back to you on that, Jack, okay?
On October 10th.
Huh?
October 10th.
October 10th?
That's
Thursday is the 12th.
Thursday's the 12th.
Oh, I'm
No,
looking
Thursday.
I'm looking at September. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe mixed up.
Thursday the 10th.
You're right, I listened to Rick.
I looked at September.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor?
I just have one other thing I want to do. I think if we get that set up, this thing that Jack Junior brought. I deal with a lot of children in town, a lot of youth from 5 years old to 18 years old, and I mean, this is a great program. I see this firsthand. I see kids come to the rec center, practice school programs, just to eat dinner so they get some eat. So what they're providing out there is an excellent service. And he's right, these are all our children, you know. We work for the citizens of this town. These kids in this town are our citizens, and they're also our bosses. And they're future leaders of the city. So what he's doing is a very needed thing, and I think the city should support it.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Ashman?
Just, real quick, Mr. Sutek, what time on Thursday the 10th again was that meeting?
We'll start at 9:30 if we can get it scheduled for 9:30. We'll go 9:30, 10, 10:30, and 11.
10. All right, thank you.
Okay? You'll get back to me, Jack, on that to make sure 9:30 is good, right? Okay. Then I'll call also to see if we can get that. Okay.
Mr. Hunter?
Okay, kind of did something I was talking to Andy about. I filed a complaint with the PUCO on a railroad property down here at the Nichols Baker. And this was back in August. I got a response today. And I was surprised. I mean, it's a pretty thorough report the way he's got it here. But he has here during the inspection, I found out the grade crossing surface was constructed with asphalt. It was in fair condition. The crossing surface itself was in good condition. However, the surface appears to have sunken over time, causing it to dip in the roadway, causing vehicles crossing the track surface to bounce as they go across. He contacted the railroad and advised them of the complaint. The railroad is currently trying to have paving company grind the approaches. The railroad is also working with the Ohio Department of Transportation to replace the traction surface next year. So that's a little more information we've had in a long time down there. The one thing he put here is, I've deemed the crossing does not meet the definition of good and sufficient defined in the Ohio Revised Code. But, you know, that's all a lot of smoke, I think. But the thing is they do have ODOT involved and the railroad involved. We might get something done. But I'll have a copy for you guys.
Yeah, we get a lot of complaints, and I, you know, other than me calling them, which is sometimes the city is
Well,
better off sometimes.
I did this as just
citizen. And that's what I'm saying, you might have better luck than the
That's
city
what I'm
on
wondering.
that.
And
I
I
told you that.
But I'd like to give everybody a copy so you'll have some information. And hopefully next year.
Like
we'll get some. Yeah, we'll get it to you.
Well,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Hunter, kudos to you for doing that.
I really didn't expect a response.
The danger to me is the people that's almost stopped, so that
Yes.
they'll get there, they know it's coming, they'll almost stop, and you're coming down at, you know,
Yeah,
50.
southbound's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's- Yeah, it's bad. So, thank you for doing that.
All right, well, thank you.
We'll see what happens. Anything else under miscellaneous business? One thing for me, I do want to ask that, I'm gonna make some minor adjustments to the committees for the next year. If you have any committee requests that you want on or off, let me know. And that I may or may not acknowledge that. And probably make a few little changes next year. I usually like to keep it mixed up a little bit so that we have fresh people on them. So you have until next meeting, think about it, and you can shoot me a text or call me or wait till next meeting and just let me know. Mr. Shank.
That lady contacted me the other day, that there's a 403 Vine Street, that, in the alley behind her house, there's a van that's parked partially in the roadway, and I guess there's about 10 or 12 cats running around in that garage apartment, and she contacted the animal shelter. They're gonna come in and see if they can trap and catch as many as they can and spay and neuter them, and either disperse them somewhere else or have to bring some back if they can't get rid of them. But anyway, I'm gonna give Chief Murphy the license plate and the van that's in the alley. It's partway out into the alley, and the lady that lives in this house, which is deplorable, I don't know how she lives in this house in the alley, but anyway, she answered all the questions. She's gonna try to get it out of there, but I don't think she has the funds to do it, but it doesn't run. So, I don't know what we can do, either tow it to the impound or
Yeah, probably, and see what we can do, put, if she gives us the title, or she, whoever, then we can just put on.
Well, she doesn't have it, it's her boyfriend who's in prison.
You can, I mean, it's cheaply issue a tow order now, or just know that, and,
Put it in their lawn.
yeah, they disperse them to every time.
Where is it, Jim? Where is this, the van?
In the alley behind 403 Vine Street.
Okay, 403, bottom.
Actually, I had 2 complaints this week from 2 different people about feral cats and wanted to know if we could work on the ordinance. We actually don't address it in our ordinance as feral cats. I know if you call the county, don't call the county, they don't do that. We've dealt with that before, so if the animal shelter's gonna come and do it.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah,
They
I am
come in,
too.
They said they'd come in, trap as many as they could,
Yeah,
catch
that's
whatever.
nice. I'll give the ordinance, referral to the ordinance committee the next time we have a meeting, maybe you could discuss that a little bit. I don't know what the rule is, what other places do, I don't know what, we don't have a lot of recourse on it for that problem, and it's everywhere. Feral cats are just a problem everywhere. Anything else under miscellaneous?
One quick thing,
Yes.
I got a call from, Crow Company, their general real estate person, been a couple months back, asked me about the dead end road that comes off of, Broadway, where the trucks go behind, Kroger's, that if we would shore up our water line that was exposed for quite a few years because the trucks going down there would just make their turns and kind of dug that all out. So I had our guys, they went down and they blocked it with these major reinforcement stone we got from Crummets and filled it with gravel and seeded it and everything. The gentleman said if we did that, if we could get approval, which I talked to Mr. Stecker, that there would be no liability for them paving that. They paved this street from the top all the way to the guardrail, which is a dead end. Paved their whole parking lot, which made it nicer, better, and, you know, for their trucks too. So if anybody goes by that way, it didn't cost the city a penny, but it made that whole area look nice, and it helped out Kroger's there. So that was a joint venture between the city and Kroger. So if you ever do go by that way, take a look at it and see how nice it is. Thank you. It is. Yeah. I'm done. Madam President, thank you.
Anything else? Mr. Hunker?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
The motion by Mr. Hunker that we adjourn, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Nyman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. And we will adjourn. With the salute of the flag.
It sure does, it sure does. Thanks so much. Thank you so
Hey,
much for your support.
Yes, absolutely.
You made us feel good.
Of course, and I was gonna say too, within the,
Thank you so much for your
Tom?
Yeah.
I was